Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we're going to be going over Maro's teasers for Bloomburrow. I'm pretty excited about this. Bloomburrow is the set that I am most excited for coming, I think potentially ever. I was very excited for LCI, but this is like right up my alley. I absolutely love it. So I'd love to hear from you guys if you guys think I got things right or not. There's some very exciting new stuff potentially shown here. So the first one here was a new mechanic, which is a tweak on a mechanic from 2013. Now, my guess for this is potentially heroic. So that is whenever you cast a spell that targets it, do something. It gives a benefit to it whenever you cast a spell that is targeting something. Previously, Mark literally said that they were looking at, exploring heroic and what changes they could make to heroic. And I think that this could be a set that could easily kind of be in there. Theros was 2013. I assume that makes some people feel pretty old, but I think this could be a very interesting thing for maybe like the mice. Oh no, the mice are equipment, I think. Maybe like just the frogs or something, maybe? I don't know. There's lots of different things that they could potentially be a part of. Or, it doesn't even need to be a full kind of archetype. It could just be something that shows up on stuff. So I'll be very interested to see. Oh, no, you know what it could be on? The raccoons. The raccoons we know are like go big thanks to their precon. So this could definitely be something on their precon there. Next one here was destroy target creature. A spell that only has this rules text gets a new mana cost, and I am moving myself off so that way you can see. So these are the previous 3 versions of this, I believe. I don't think there's any more that I missed here. Literally all its rules text is meant to be is destroy target creature. So we've had 4 cost, and then we had 3 costs with murder. We could potentially see just a pure black one, or maybe we see, I don't know, maybe one in different color or something. I'm not sure. I assume that black would probably be best. Go for the throat already is a really great card. And that's 1 black and 1 colorless, so maybe. We've got this one here, a cycle of uncommon lands that each reference 4 creature types. We've already seen these. That's these ones here. Each of them has, tap, add colorless, tap, add that color, and then you can do different stuff depending on what creature types you've got. We've got these here. So these are the new counters that are going to be in the set. So +1/+1, I didn't bother. They're all over the place. A blight counter is a new one. Potentially like the opposite of like a flood counter, or instead of making it into an island, it makes it into a swamp or something, or maybe it makes it just tap for colorless, or there's lots of different things that blight counters could be on. We've got coins, which was previously used with like noble person stuff, where enters with the amount of coin counters you can tap to create treasures and stuff. We've got finality, which has been used a fair bit in black recently. Definitely could be seen as a part of like Dimir or something, or even probably the squirrels. The squirrels seem to be like necromancers and stuff, so finality counters would definitely go well there. We've got flood, which was used with Zolotoyak and some previous cards before that, turning things into islands. We've got the flying counter, which you already know is going to be a part of at least Salvation Swan. Indestructibles used a fair bit with spirits and stuff, where they enter with indestructible counters, and then you can remove that for different things. We've got the loyalty. I'm just going to skip over. We know that as well. Glittering stockpile here. So this was very similar to like the coin counter, where this one here slowly kind of stacks up, and then you can sack it for like stashed away stuff. We've got the stun counter, lots of different things that stun's been on, and then supply is a new one, which would be very interesting to see what they do there. All right, so this one here is a non-creature subtype that makes its first return. I 100% think this is junk. Junk just suits so well like a red-green deck. Gruul has been about, playing from exile and stuff, and literally the deck is called like decks the themes that it says is make trash. Making junk is trash, and then it can play into that exile theme and stuff. I think it would suit well. I think it's like, given the fact this is a commander product, this is a commander product, they kind of, you know, can go well together, as well as just having junk be around more. I think that junk was a really great kind of card to create, like a great token to create, so I'm really happy to see that, if that is it. There's other ones that it could be, that we haven't seen for a while. I think someone brought up like shards and stuff, but I think it's going to be junk. All right, 2 mechanics that were out in the same set and return each part of 2 different color types. I think this is going to be Prowess and Ferocious. Ferocious, obviously, being the like the red-green raccoons. Oh, sorry, no, the badgers, probably. No, it's not badgers. What would be red-green? Oh no, the raccoons. Yeah, the raccoons, because you know this is do smash. So raccoons with red-green Ferocious would be great, and then we've got blue-red for Prowess. It could be other ones, like. If you guys have a different theory for this one, let me know. But I think that Ferocious for the raccoons and then Prowess for the otters makes a lot of sense. So this one here is very interesting. A mythic cycle with a new symbol. Looking at the symbols they've got, this is going to actually be quite interesting. You know, we've got the tap and untap symbol, we've got mana symbols, we've got loyalty ability symbols. There was like the defense symbols as well. Like there's a lot of different symbols. Typically, they are like new rules and new mechanics, which would be very interesting to see what they do there. It's a new mythic cycle, so lots of cool things they could potentially do there. All right, so then we go into some that have actual, like the actual text. So these are rules text that shows up on cards. So create X tokens that are copies of target token you control. There's been a few different ones of that. So far, they've mostly been like, you know, in blue and blue or green. I think the rabbits could potentially use this if rabbits end up being tokens, green, white instead. Would potentially work to create tokens of tokens. There's lots of different things they could potentially do here, but typically, you know, it's been a lot of green, some blue. So I think that green-white would be a very interesting one for that. We've got, if you control a raccoon, you may discard a card. This one here, I actually found very interesting because that reminded me of Veronica from the Fallout set, where when you discard cards, it creates junk tokens. So that could definitely be like a very similar thing here if they are using junk tokens for raccoons. And then we've got, you know, other ones where when you attack, you can discard a card, or, you know, when it enters, you can discard cards. So either one of those could potentially be around the raccoons and stuff. This one here, whenever one or more other creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, you know, this is looking like the swans could potentially have some exile kind of stuff. The Salvation Swan has this, and one of the leaked cards also was a flicker card. So if it's based kind of around flicker and stuff, there could be some really cool stuff around here. We've got it's the first instant or first sorcery or the first otter spell. If it's the first instant, first sorcery, or the first otter spell. This is very similar to like, is it spell slinging? Malik does this, Double Vision does it, Barrel does it. There's a few different things. Arcane Bombardment, that kind of stuff. Put a flood counter on target land. It's got to be something to do with blue. Blue's the only thing that really has flood counters, or blue or colorless. So having that be around the frogs would most likely make sense. For each other squirrel and or other food you control. So we've got like stuff like Eat Ave, when it enters, get, you know, +1/+1s based on that. We've got Ethereum here, costing less for each other one, or like Rat Colony getting buffed for each other one. Either one of those, like either one of these types of versions of this, I could definitely see, whether it's, you know, it would be probably like a Squirrel General or Squirrel Leader or something. Or, you know, getting mana based on your squirrels. The squirrels are, what was it, necromancy kind of stuff. Yeah, or, you know, maybe it's create a squirrel for each other squirrel or food you control or something. As long as there are 4 or more card types among cards exiled with this. So there's a few different ways they've done some stuff similar to this. There's Nethergoyf, which was when it had escape, it did something. There was exiling, and then we had like Bloodbraid Marauder, which was with Delirium, and Delirium had like, you know, if you've got 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. So card types, you know, have been used a bit. We know that Delirium is meant to be coming back in Duskmourn as well. Maybe this is going to be something to do with like the lizards or something. Maybe the lizards are going to exile stuff from your graveyard, or, you know, some self-mill with like rats or something could potentially do this. And then you exile cards from your graveyard to do things like this. Could be very interesting. We've got up to one target artifact, creature, or planeswalker an opponent controls loses abilities until end of turn. Mostly this is like a blue kind of thing, making things lose their abilities and stuff, but white has had a little bit of this, like mostly around more enchantments, like Dark Steel Mutation and stuff like that, but they have had, like, you know, Humble. We've got now the creatures. So there is going to be a new Hamster Citizen. This is actually interesting because Hamster's only been used once with Boo before. I don't know if Hamster's going to show up a few times, but we know that there's going to be at least one Hamster. A few other ones, you know, there's a Frog Advisor, Skunk Assassin being silent and deadly, which is the worst joke. I freaking love it. We've got Raccoon Berserker. Maybe that's going to be the, like, one of the leaders in the Raccoon deck or something. We've got a Squirrel Warlock Bard. Interesting enough, the Squirrels that they've shown so far have been, like, you know, Warlocks and Necromancers. Necromancer isn't a tag, so I guess Warlock kind of replaces that. And then we've got this one here, which is Creature Rabbit Mouse. Now, when it had Rabbit Mouse on here, some people would think about, you know, a combined rabbit and mouse into some grotesque mutation or something, but what it reminded me of was like stuff like this, Kugler and Yidaro here, where it's got, like, you know, the different tags. This is an ape, dinosaur, turtle. That doesn't mean that they're both ape, dinosaur, turtles. It just means that you know, they've got an ape and a dinosaur turtle on here. So a rabbit and a mouse kind of back-to-back fighting, maybe, who knows. Other ones, we had a Badger Warrior. Hugs is a Badger Warrior. Weasel Mercenary. There is currently no weasels. Interesting. We've got the Elemental Elk, which assumedly is the Calamity Beast over here. And then we've got that legendary creature, Bird Dragon. You know, some people think that this is one of the, like, what is it? Colagan from the Dragons of Tarkir. And given the fact that we're returning to Tarkir at the end of this, arc, and the fact that it's called the Dragonstorm arc, definitely could be. Or, you know, maybe it's Sarkin or something like that. I don't know. All right, these are the last ones here. So these ones are ones that I couldn't really kind of go into depth to because it's not huge. like they're too broad. 10 card cycle that acts as typal glue. Assumedly this is going to be like maybe like a banner for each of the cycles, like the typals or something like that. Who knows? The word squirrels shows up 4 times in rules text. Keep in mind this is squirrels, not squirrel. So if it's a squirrel, then it wouldn't count towards this. One of the cutest mechanics we've ever made, potentially like the offspring mechanic or the gift mechanic. Creatures your opponent control have base toughness 1. I have no idea what that could be. Maybe that's going to be like one of the Calamity Beasts or something, where X is the number of creatures your opponent controlled that were exiled this turn. That one is very interesting. Very interesting. Maybe like flickering opponent stuff, or if you like have a removal or something like that. Who knows? And then finally, the card names here. The one that I wanted to mostly talk about here was Kidnap. Babies, baby badgers, ferrets, foxes, muskrats, rabbits, namely rabbits and squirrels. Their babies are called kits, so this is like, you know, Kidnap. Hop to it's actually really interesting as well. But that's it for today, guys. As I said, make sure you subscribe. I hope you have a great day, and goodbye.